And we are live. Happy Monday, everybody. So glad that you are watching, whether it's here on Instagram on my phone right here or right here as we are on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. Time again for another edition of Daily Distinction. I'm really glad you're here. He hasn't jumped on here yet, but we were talking last night, so I know he's going to be here. There he is. I can see him here in queue. So let me introduce to you one of my best pals. But he's ready to go. You were protected from my germs, buddy. I'm telling you.
In my own house.
Oh, no, put it back on. We like that better.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I do too.
Well, a man who needs no introduction, but he's going to get one anyway.
Right. Yeah.
Well, my best pals in the world, and he is one of the, I started to say one of the founding members, but it's all the same guys. And we're going to talk about that before we get out of here. But a founding member of Diamond Rio, 6-time Country Music Group of the Year, Grammy Award winning, multi-platinum recording artist. He's got all the Dig Me posters behind him there in his studio in his house. Dana Williams is just one of the great guys I know. And Dana, can you see us on the screen? I don't know what you are you seeing?
Yeah, I see you. Yeah. Look just like the same guy I used to know.
Okay. Here I do have some folks I think are going to just think perhaps, hey, and Brian Prout's watching us on Instagram.
All right.
So we would have him join us, but the technology
is limited.
Maybe a little, but we'll work on this on FaceTime.
Yeah.
For you, John.
Are you hearing me okay?
He can hear. If you watch on Instagram, you can't see us both. You can hear the audio, but you can't see it. But you can see it live on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. And I noticed that the Diamond Rio Facebook fan page plugged this interview.
Yeah, yes, it did. How about that?
Amazing how that works.
Go figure how that works.
Well, I don't want anybody just to think that this is just a regular guest that I've got here. So I do want you to see just a little history here. For example, here,
no.
You're going to love this.
I bet I am.
Let's see. There's a couple guys at a race, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. There's a couple guys with Linda Vaughn, the Hearst shifter gal. You know, when I was putting this together, Dana, I noticed, look how she got her arms folded. I think we intimidated her a little bit.
Yeah, she's like, please don't touch me. Either side, don't touch me.
She was predicting the pandemic before it was.
What she's thinking right there is, it's quicker to take the picture than to argue about it. Just get it done.
And there we are at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway after Tony Stewart won. Look at you in your Home Depot. That was
yes, sir, man.
That was the Brickyard after Tony won. And then let's see here. We can take a look. There's you and me. How many years ago has that been? Bob Nardilli. Remember, he was the chairman of Home Depot, then became the chairman of Chrysler. And big Diamond.
And he's our pal.
He didn't get me a Chrysler when he moved over there.
He didn't me either. I don't understand it. We were buddies there for at least 20 seconds.
He was Home Depot. We could have got a hammer or something, but
I mean something.
No car.
A gift card, anything, man.
And here is a very rare sighting of Dana Williams in a tuxedo.
Yeah, you notice the tie didn't make it.
And that is at my wedding because Dana was one of the guys who stood up with me
there you
at
go.
the wedding. And
had to get the most out of that tux. Wedding and gig.
So I had to share that there. So great meeting with you, pal. I'm so happy that you're here.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me here, man. I've been checking you out and trying to stay as as close as we can, being 2,000 miles apart and not allowed to, whatever. But
Yeah.
It's good to be on here and visit with you.
Jeff Weimer says, Dana, the man, the myth, the legend.
The Weimer. There he is.
There's somebody that's a fan.
Oh, yeah. There's a darling right there.
And let's see. Brian Smith was looking to see Diamond Rio at Niagara Falls. That's
me too, Brian. Me too. I'm saddened about it. Believe me.
Tammy says, you guys look so young. I think she means now and not those pictures.
Right. She was probably in high school then. Boy, he don't want to hear that. Easy.
Anyway, my friend. Let's moving on.
Moving right along, yes.
Here we are. We're in this pandemic. I've talked here before, as you've heard about, me as a speaker, and there's no gigs. And if anybody can relate, you can.
Can we ever, man? Geez.
What do you do during this time to, what are you doing? What's the band doing? What's going on?
I think that to be real honest with you, most of us is getting our honey-do list finished, and we're running out of list. To be honest with you, but oh man, you got me sweating. I'm laughing, but we have we get our schedule emailed to us every week or so, and every week that it's been coming out, you see more red lines through the dates, and it's just heartbreaking. Not only, that is how we make a living also, but there's so many people that are making plans to come out to the show and different places and all this kind of thing that is just I get emails off our Facebook page and different places that people just, man, I was so looking forward to seeing you guys and all that, and it's like, boy, it ain't breaking nobody's heart more than ours, let me tell you. And at the beginning you were like, hey man, I'm kind of enjoying this time home and off and everything, and then all of a sudden it starts coming clear to you that our business may be the last to recover. And that's going to start biting into the groceries. But you know what?
I have groceries to bite.
Yeah, really. So, it's we'll get through it, and just like everybody else, we'll get through it, and we'll change things that need to be changed, and we've got employees too, that and it's killing us for those guys, because those guys are struggling big time and got families, and all of a sudden, like everyone else, you feel the responsibility of being a business owner, should you say, and you feel that responsibility for the other guys, and it's just, you do what you can and do a lot of praying and a lot of loving on your family, and try to not let it get to you, best you can.
Donna Sturban and my wife Tammy were texting this morning, and she was just talking about, it started out really great. Now, it's time to get back on the road. It's time to make something happen. And it's just not there yet. It's just not.
Well, a lot of us, I know with her, her husband being part of the Oak Ridge Boys, those guys, they're out a lot during the year and have been their entire career. Yeah. And like us, we're 30 years in, and we go out a lot, but not like the Oak Ridge Boys, but we still, we're pretty heavy workers. And, when all of a sudden you're at home and you've cut grass twice, and you fixed the sink 3 times, and
Even though it didn't need it, I fixed it.
You start getting a little stir crazy, you're just not used to that. And not that I couldn't get used to it, but I don't want to get used to it just yet. Let's put it that way.
I want to come back to the band in a minute, but the other thing that people may not know is that you and your lovely wife, Deanna, own the Trendy Trunk in suburban Nashville,
Correct.
Which is one of the boutique stores that everybody that's anybody in Nashville goes to. And you guys are basically shut down, right? Or I mean, you're doing online orders and
we've of course, cheap plug. We have thetrendytrunk.com that anybody can go to and order, and
trendytrunk.com, right?
Either one, trendytrunk.com, thetrendytrunk.com. You'll get me either way. Or should I put it, I'll get you either way. But and we are a boutique of home decor and clothes and lots of jewelry and baby gifts and just a gift store boutique. And boy, when they just we have the governor of Tennessee come on and say, hey man, all businesses closed. And man, you just all of a sudden that turns off like a light switch. Now I will say Deanna is going in every day 10 to 2 Central Time, and she goes in there and answers the phone. We've got a girl that comes in and helps her answer the phone and take orders over the phone, and they'll bring out stuff to the curb and bring it to you. And I have turned into delivery boy. Every day about 2:30, 3 o'clock, I head out with my directions and
a Grammy Award winner.
Here he comes.
There ought to be a surcharge for that, man. There ought to be a
on the way from the door. I'm going, one more day.
Where's my tip?
One more tip. But you know what? Again, we're doing what we got to do, and we're delivering to people's homes here in the area, and we're going to the post office every day and mailing stuff out, doing the best we can. And again, we've got 11 employees there also. That we're feeling that weight on that because, man, we're responsible for that too. So, just like everybody, every small business, every business in this country, across the world right now, I mean, we're just trying to survive and not have to close the door, and that's what would be heartbreaking. I told the wife, I said, if everybody, and I mean everybody, every landlord, every person that is owed a bill, if they would just chill, just turn it off like everything else is off and give us time. And then as soon as they say go, okay, we'll take up right where we stopped and off we go, and if we just do that, but I feel for these landlords that own all these buildings, I mean, and they got bills too, and it's an incredible domino effect like I've never seen.
It really shows how interconnected we all are in a way that we never even imagined, and even
Absolutely.
how interconnected we are globally. When you think that this started, depending on what you believe, but as it's been reported so far, it starts with one guy eating a bat in China, and it spreads. Yeah. It spreads all over. Now that may or may not be the case, but even if it was escaped from a lab somewhere,
right.
It started with one person getting it, who gave it to other people, who gave it to other people, who, I'll never think about a video going viral in the same way again. Because,
ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth, man?
We've really seen what that means in terms of of our health. Charles says he should have been eating chicken. Right? It's been safe, if only.
Lettuce, and chicken, and you stay skinny.
Yep. And Ricardo, I think we're agreeing very much with what you say. That is absolutely on target. It's better to be home and safe than very sorry later. Better to lose revenue and lose your life, and that's why we're doing what we're doing. So
absolutely, I mean, and I'll tell you another thing that I have noticed, and I don't know if I put it the politically correct way, but either way, I don't really care anymore. But but what I have noticed through this is all of a sudden we're not hearing about Iran and the Middle East and all that over there bombing one another and arguing and protesting and carrying on all that mess. We're not hearing about anybody trying to impeach anybody or any of that garbage that going on there. We're not hearing about all of this, I don't know, crime, which I'm sure it's still going on, but no, we're hearing about trying to come together, and not just this country, the whole world. We're trying to come together and fight one enemy here. And, that could be some divine teaching here that we desperately needed. I know in this country, for sure, desperately needed. And, hey, I don't want to get strange on anybody, but I mean, this could be running deeper than what we think. So,
and even if it's not, it sure is a deeper lesson for all of us to learn.
Absolutely.
I mean, I agree with you that it is, but even those who don't share those same beliefs that I know that you and I have, it still is a very important teaching moment, I think, that maybe we're going a little bit too fast and maybe we need to tap the brakes a little bit because, hey, don't get me wrong. I can't wait for the next speech. I know you can't wait for
There you go.
I realized, I'll tell you what, I will never look at an audience the same way again.
And that's something I was talking to Marty, my cohort there in the band. We were talking about on the phone about how, my level of appreciation and love for what we do and the ability and the appreciation for being able to do this as long as we have has completely changed, man. But, we just got into such a mode of taking it for granted. Yeah. You do something for 30 years, this is just what you do, and you move on. And, you just go do a speech and you go to the next place and then you go home and, you and Tammy go to dinner and, you just move on the next day. And we all do the same thing. And maybe this is a moment of, let's think about one another and let's think about the other guy. We got to take care of our own, and we got to take care of family and your relationship with God and your relationships all over. But you know what? What about the other guy that could be really, really desperate? I mean,
you're so. Let's talk about the band for a little bit. There's some things that that I know about the history of Diamond Rio. That when I talk to my friends about it, it's fascinating to me that it's so funny because before I started to hang around with you guys, I never understood how a band broke up, and now I realize it's incredible when they stay together.
Well,
and I mean that as a compliment because there's so many. To be a great band, you have to have great players and strong personalities and and people with a vision. And so to get 4 or 5 or 6 really top-notch people to share that vision, holy cow, that's
it has. Yeah, I gotta admit, it has been amazing to have fell into 6 guys that I sometimes I get confused. I don't know if it's 6 guys that just don't know how to do anything else, so we just got to do this, or is it 6 guys that have definitely struggled, in the early years of everybody, and you kind of know what you got, and it's kind of the mothership, and you know what, I'm riding this baby all the way to the house. So I don't think she's there yet, though. No, but I'm still riding. But I mean, it's just 6 guys that we've always been able to come together and make a decision. And sometimes it's been harder than others, but we've always been able to do that. And I truly think that that's a big reason, that we've been together as long as we have.
Well, the other thing that strikes me too is that the last few shows that, I've had the chance to be with you, man, there is such a resurgence. You guys are packing them in. That's part of what I hate for you guys with what's going on now is, my gosh, what the last couple shows I've been to, sold out, people going crazy. There's something about, early 90s country music that people are really, really into.
Yeah, and that's a big thing right now. It's just the 90s country. We have definitely noticed a resurgence in that in the last couple of years, for sure. And, what's the reason for that? I have my opinions, but it not necessarily is everyone's, but I'm not taking away from anybody or whatever, but the music these days is just different, man.
You mean 90s country as opposed to 2020 country?
Huge question mark. Huge question mark. I say that stuff. We talk like that, and I remember hearing Gene Shepard and Porter Wagner and all these different ones speak exactly the same way. Hey man, country ain't country no more, and this 80s country, I don't know what they're talking about, and then this 90s country, what is that? That isn't country music. So okay, we're the old guys, all right. We're allowed to talk that way.
I get it. I remember somebody saying about Diamond Rio, but they don't have a steel guitar.
They don't, or a fiddle. Hallelujah.
That's also kind of an inside joke because there's been a couple times I've gone with this guy where it was only supposed to be band members, and Dana said, "Oh, he's their steel player." Over here in Vegas, I'm sorry, band members only. Dana said,
yeah, they even let drummers in there.
That's for Brian, who I'm sure is listening.
Yeah.
Musicians and drummers admitted.
Yeah. But you know what? There's just a difference these days, and the 90s country was such an explosion. For country music, I mean, it really started in about 86 with Randy Travis. That's when it started, and then Randy Travis and Clint Black and Alan Jackson and kaboom, Garth Brooks.
Yeah. And
90s country was on its way, and we were so fortunate to be involved in that. And we were the band of the 90s, man. We were all in the middle of all that, so.
Well, and you were the first group, as I remember, in country music that your first single went #1.
Absolutely, man. We've got that mark in history. Yeah. They can tie it, but they can't take it.
It's like there's a line in the movie Ordinary People about bowling. He said, you can't break the lane, you can't break the ball, you can't even break the record. That's kind of the same way. You can't. Man. That's a record that can be tied, but can't be broken.
You can tire.
So Dana, what do you see that's going to happen next? I mean, as you know, here you've watched this little get together before. What we try to bring positive, messages. But it's hard sometimes when you're dealing with the reality of what's going on. I have found that, talking with you and, just sharing with friends. There's things that we really need to do to keep our sanity as we go through this challenging time.
Yeah. I'm hoping that what comes out of this is a lot of what we just spoke about, appreciation for your job, for what you do, appreciation for things that you have, the loved ones you got, that you're able to count on. I just think, we've just been getting so darn crazy, and you know what? I didn't even feel that way until this happened. Yeah. And then I felt, wow, man, I got what I have, man. All of a sudden when it can be taken away from you like that.
Yeah.
You just can't, we was watching all at one time, you watched, okay, my job turned off, my 401k that I'm counting on, that I've been funding for 30 something years. Okay, I'm counting on that for about 10 years from now. Yeah. I watched my 401k just start hitting the bottom. My other side business turned off. Yeah. And I'm like, hey, wait just a minute. I thought I had all this covered. And
Jeff Weimer sent something here and it reminded me. I mean, Dana, you and I were together on 9/11.
Yes, we were at the golf tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. And but I think there was a sense at 9/11 that America will prevail. We've hit this thing, and there's going to be a bump, but we're going to come out of this because America will prevail. I think in some ways this is a little bit harder because the enemy, as the president has said, whether you like the president or not, I think he described it perfectly. This unseen enemy that we have, that even the experts can't agree on how do we fight. And so it's creating some challenges, but we've got to figure out a way to, I know nothing is going to get better if all we do is sit and wring our hands and say, woe is me. And
well, absolutely. I mean, it's a same old thing. I mean, if you don't do anything different, don't expect anything different, and I'm sitting here in Tennessee, counting on scientists and experts and all this that I don't even know where they are or who they are, but I'm counting on them.
Exactly. But by the way, I got to tell you real quick too. Tammy just sent me a text and said, "Yeah, Rio's so popular." I don't know if I think I've told you this, but I don't know that I've told you this. So you guys were playing, and the wedding gift, so to speak, of Diamond Rio was that they played at our wedding and celebrated the day with us, and so Tammy is sitting there, and One More Day, I think, was the first one, and she said, "Oh my God, I love this song. Who did this originally?"
That may be why I never kissed the bride.
She did. She went, "No,
no,
beautiful mess." Wow, that's another one I love. So she just sent me a text. "We loved your music so much, we had a cover band play all their hits at our weddings."
Well, we did have a different drummer a little bit at that wedding.
I hit the bottom of the barrel for that one song. I'm telling you. Oh, Dr. Robert Jackson is watching us back in Indiana. He was there. Well, I appreciate that. Diamond Rio made that happen, Dr. Jackson. So I appreciate that. It's great to hear from you. Well, Dana, pal, I can't thank you enough. You were one of my best friends in the world, and I just think the world of you. And man, I appreciate you sharing with us and helping us feel better about what's going on in the world today.
Well, hey man, we just I've had my times here at the house. Deanna and I just sit here and get all in the funk and all that good stuff. But you know what? I get a lot of positive groove vibe. I have a great Sunday school class that we meet every Sunday morning at 11 o'clock via GoToMeeting. And I get a lot that charges me more than anything to be with with several people like that are right in the same spot. We're all together here.
Yeah.
I'm in Tennessee, you're in Nevada, but you know what? You're in the same spot I'm in. We just got different toys in our house. That's all. We're just trying to get through this,
Absolutely. Well, Dana, we had a guy, Glenn Morshower. I don't know if you saw it, the guy from 24. That's
did I ever, man? Love him.
He closed with a song. I'm not going to ask you to do that, but I'm gonna play the video of One More Day so that everybody has a chance to see that. I'll be back with the final message. But Dana, I just can't thank you enough. You're the best, pal.
God bless you, pal. I love you. I do.
Love you too, and I look forward to talking to you soon. And let's take a look at one of the many big hits that Diamond Rio had, which is of course the classic song One More Day.
I got great hair in this too.
Well, you can see Diamond Rio there. I know that somebody had a problem. Had a chance to see it. It's Diamond Rio's classic hit. And now we are getting Little Texas, which we don't want there. Got this new software that I've been telling you about, and that is what I apologize that you didn't get a chance to hear that. So Go to YouTube, search for Diamond Rio and One More Day. You did get to see Dana's pretty hair, though, if you were watching that video. It's one of the great songs in the history of country music, and Meet in the Middle and Beautiful Mess. And oh gosh, it just goes on and on and on. Bubba Hyde, and the too many hits to count. When you have to come out with your second greatest hits album, you know you've had a great career. So thanks to my great pal Dana Williams for being with me today. Thank you again for being with me today. Hey, before we go, just a couple quick reminders, and that is, if you'd like the free audio program or the free insights on what you can be doing right now to get through this challenge and to create distinction, go to distinctionnation.com. It's absolutely free. All you need to do is just go there and sign up, and we'd love to stay in touch with you. That'd be great. Also, last night we had an incredible time with Ken and with Glenn, and man, more viewers than we've ever had. So it's the Ken and Glenn show with the guy named Scott, and it's every Sunday night at 8:00. Put a note on your calendar, or say to Siri or to Alexa that reminds you Sunday night 8:00 for the Ken and Glenn show with a guy named Scott. 8:00 Eastern, 7:00 Central, 5:00 Pacific. And I will be right back here tomorrow with another edition of Daily Distinction. So thanks for watching, and I really, really, really appreciate you being there. Thank you so much for taking time to listen to Dana and me, and thank you again, Dana. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you again right here with Daily Distinction tomorrow. Thanks, everybody, for watching. See you then.